Sup everybody, it's Grandpa, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about this tech tree, Soul Schreiber. I think I might have a solution for, let's say, another tier 10 tank for this tech tree. First and foremost, Soul Schreiber has been recently introduced. It's the first tech tree added before, like others like Francine de la Roche or Oscar Faraday. So in the past we were just free tech trees, 2 free tech trees and so on. But Soul Schreiber is one of the most, let's say, interesting ones, because first it came with Merkava 2D. It was a premium and it still is a premium, and it was no other tank like him. So behold, you have a small line, a tech tree of this tank. However, on top of the tech tree is a different type of a tank, and below it's also a different type of a tank. The link between these two, it is the Merkava 2D, which is a premium, and it was, in my opinion, a mistake to put this tank as a premium, because this link between these two tanks means an end of the Magash era and some other prototypes, but they accepted this type of a version more suitable for their environment in Israel. The tank that I might propose and to have, it has similarities with one of the tier 10. If we go to Oscar Faraday, we can see that this tank, Gau, it has a chassis of a M48 pattern with a different turret, different gun, and so on. But the chassis, it is one of the most interesting ones because it's of a tier 2 tank. Okay, let's not be so harsh and saying that it's a tier 2. It might be also tier 3, 4, 5, 6 chassis, okay? But this tank, Pereh, it was a very interesting, and it's been on the lineage of the Magash line from pattern and so on. So that tank could be a tier 10 premium, as you see this, or a normal tier 8 to 9 tank, because of the armor and so on. Plus, it is a tank destroyer, and even on Wikipedia the tank is a tank destroyer. What does it mean, a tank destroyer? A tank destroyer means a tank hunter, a tank killer, or a self-propelled anti-tank gun, and is a type of an armored fighting vehicle, an armed vehicle with an artillery gun or missile launcher designed specifically to engage and destroy enemy tanks, often with limited operational capacity. This is the description from Wikipedia about a tank destroyer. It's really interesting because the Pereh is an Israeli guided missile carrier disguised as a tank. The freaking tank looks like an MBT, but it's a missile carrier. And which type of tanks we have in the game as missile carriers? Let's get into some more details about this tank, the Pereh. So the Pereh is based on the hull of a Magash 5 tank. Where we have the Magash 5 tank, the Magash is a tier 4, so here he is. So it's not a tier 2 chassis, it's more of a tier 4 to 5. And if we put the images, and I see, guys, this Pereh, it has an armor similar to Magash 6B and Magash 7C, or even with the Magash 7A and other versions. The Pereh is based on the hull of the Magash 5 tank and features a large turret containing 12 spike missiles in a pop-up missile launcher at the rear disguised as a turret muzzle. The launcher is reloaded via a hatch at the rear with the launcher in the lowered position. Known as Tammuz in Israeli service, the spike and loss missile, which are missiles with a tandem charge, is capable of being used in both direct and indirect fire roles, and is able to destroy targets out to 25 kilometers or 16 miles. Now, Tandem. What it means, Tandem? We have a lot of tanks in the game, even premium and non-premium, and some of them I have. So let's get through them. So we have T-15 Armata with Tandem, Zwagen 2000, Sphinx, Poland, Merkava for M, Cornet EM, K21. This is tier 10. Let's go to tier 9. ZTQ-15, Type 99A, T90MS, QN506, Merkava 4, Hellfire, Kurganets, Hunter AFV, Crab, BMPT-72. Let's go to tier 8. VT4, VBR, Type 99, T90A, Talker, Sprut SD, even Sprut has Tandem, Rosomach, Bramka 99, Merkava Freebats, Striker ATGM, Khrizantema-s, Dragoon even has Tandem, Broadley, BMPT 2000, other version of BMPT 2000. Let's go to tier 7. Warrior that has Tandem, Ingwe has, BMP 3M has, BMD 2M has, tier 6. and this is the last one, ZBL, OA, and even Fox. So we have a lot of tanks in the game that has this type of ammunition, and shooting those ATGMs probably at the same rate as PNAT, but having a main gun in the front which is just to trick the enemy, and you have those ATGMs that reload, and probably the reload time, I don't know what's the reload time. The front is fitted with a fake cannon to disguise it as a standard tank, and the true existence and nature of the vehicle was kept classified till the declassification in June 2015. So since the 1980s, since the wars that's been Egypt and so on, the tank was kept in secret, and not even today we don't know the reloading time. Probably some people may know, I don't find it, but the tank, it's very impressive. I really like the design of the tank. The tank is really interesting. I really like the way it looks. Let's put it, if the tank will come in the game as a premium or non-premium tank, obtainable or with money. The Pereh had participated in all Israeli Defense Forces operations for the last 25 years, including the 2006 Lebanon War and Gaza War. Although pictures of the Pereh have been taken over the years, it's classified, with some appearing in public and suppressing such appearances. Pictures of the Pereh first released during Operation Protective Edge in July 2014, and it was the first occasion on which the censorship was deleted, allows such pictures to pass without suppression, although no statement was made as to what the pictures were of. The Pereh was retired from service roughly 4 years ago. That's interesting. Israeli Defense Forces intends to abandon this concept, and to me this concept is not a concept. The concept doesn't run for 25 years. This is not a concept. This is a tank that is being roughly used with good intentions or bad intentions, doesn't matter, but this tank to me is not a concept. If this thing works and it passes the first matches and first fight, is not any longer a concept, because it's being produced like a lot of them. You can Google this and you can find a lot of pictures and images with these tanks, like in platoons of tanks, you know, like you play in the game. We don't know if they're gonna abandon this concept or if they plan using a more modern tank chassis in an updated version. I think they're gonna try to use a better chassis, and probably it's gonna be the chassis of a Merkava. Expect the unexpected to see this type of a tank with a chassis of a Merkava, because it's one of those best tanks they ever built and they still have. Back to the tech tree. So I would like to see this tank roughly tier 8, 9 or 10 progressive tech tree. It will split the tech tree and it will make it much more enjoyable. It can be also at tier 9. So from Merkava Free Baz you can get also a tier 9 version of Pereh, or to make it a premium 10 for an upcoming battle pass, which will be freaking insane. And if it's gonna be a premium tank in the upcoming battle pass, it will be a tank destroyer for sure, because the tank is also described in Wikipedia as a tank destroyer. It's not an MBT, you know. It is a tank destroyer, and it should be like this. Just look at the MGM, the tier 10 MGM. This tank is also a TD, but he doesn't shoot with Tandem. He shoots with hypersonic kinetic anti-tank guided missiles with Chem ATGM. It has also 12 pieces, but imagine all of these together, a big hatch on top, a fake gun forward, the turret much bigger. As I said, I like the design of the tank. Of the Pereh. It looks awesome. I really like the design of the tank, the way it looks. Interesting design, interesting reloading. Similar reloading you find it also with Mephisto, with Bradley, you know, this one. So they're really interesting designs, and I really like this sort of tanks. Hope they're not gonna be stopped being produced anymore. It's been in service for 25 years. It's a real tank. It's not a mock-up tank. It's not a tank that's been painted or made out of wood, and now it's in the game as a beast, as it is with the Streetswagen 2000, for instance, or some other tanks. And yeah, see you next time in the next episode.